welcome back. You're still on to the Polity, coming to you live from the Abuja studio of KAFTANTV. And within the break, my second guest just breezed in. You know, big men breeze in, they don't walk in. So Ambassador Moses Kola Obisesan is with us right now, sitting next to Cosmos Uzodinma, the former Chief Press Secretary to the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, who I introduced before now. And of course, my name still remains Dayo Omoogun. Now, quickly, let's go to work on the topic this afternoon. Now, Donald Trump was re-elected President of the United States of America, and he's just been inaugurated. And in the process of the inauguration, I mean, he threw all kinds of bombshells, if you like, and the whole world's been talking about it, and that's what we intend to do this afternoon also. Let's take a look at some of the lessons that come with those pronouncements. Let's take a look at some of the impacts that is going to deliver on the world entirely. For example, I mean, clearly the entire American landscape has been cleaned up of LGBTQS as it is. And that's huge for me. And so there's a whole lot, and that's what I want us to really engage. Now, quickly, the sum total of his talk, put in one sentence, is put America first. Now,
make America great again.
Make America great again, putting America first. Now,
America first,
do you think, like some people have suggested, and I'm talking to Cosmos, do you think that that is selfish?
Well, it's not selfish. There's something they call the power of context. You know, there was a time America was the Father Christmas of the world, and that was because the First World War ended, and the circumstances under which the First World War ended breathed a Second World War immediately. And they made an analysis. Why did, just after such devastating First World War, a second one came? They discovered it was because the economies had devastated and there was no opportunity to rebuild. So when the Second World War came, you know, people keep talking about Marshall Plan. Marshall Plan was simply, I think it was the Secretary of State who had to say, okay, let us enable these countries that have been devastated by war. Let's refuel the economy again. And so America pushed in their money to get. America was literally loading dollars to Germany and was giving loans to France, giving loans to Britain in order for the economy to bubble again. And that was very successful, because at the end of the day, there was no longer all the belligerency, the bellicosity that led to the Second World War cleared. And so that is it. So America was able to, and America continued in that bubble. Are you getting?
Yes.
America had continued in that bubble, being the Father Christmas, just like Nigeria.
To Africa,
to Africa,
especially West Africa. Yeah.
And so he says, no, look, we can't continue this way, because at the end of the day, you can see what they did in Iraq. They spent up to $3 trillion in Iraq, and they came out no economic benefit in Iraq. And at the end of it was like they cleared Iraq for Iran to go and occupy with Hezbollah. So that's why I said, look, these things we're no longer getting into. Look at the Panama Canal. They owned it, they built it, they developed it, and because when the world was like, you see, America is terrorizing other countries, they handed it over. When they handed it over, China is taking over. Is taking over it.
And he says he's going to get it back. Now, is that feasible? Quickly, is that feasible? Is it allowable in international diplomacy? A gift you already made to another.
You know, they said there is something, a common saying, that if you want to fall on the stars,
you at least
shoot at the moon or whatever.
Yes.
So that's what he said. I think he's putting the bar so high, so that at the end of the day, the Panamanian will say, Russia, please, make us not stay. America, okay, one of the complaints was American ships, including naval ships, are given tough time in the Panama.
Exactly, yeah.
I said, but these are not the agreements. So it will not make Panamanians say, okay,
sit back and say,
let's talk. By the time he talks, at least things are not going to be
the way they are right now.
So this is the thing, you make the bar high, set the bar, shoot for the moon. So when you are falling, you fall on the stars. So plus minus, you have made a foreign policy gain.
Right. All right. Now, Ambassador, I've been watching even the clip you sent to me. I've been watching, and honestly, it's loaded with a whole lot. Now, let's talk about the illegal immigrants part, and and how you think that will impact Nigerians.
Okay, thank you very much. Again, apologies for coming in very late. The Asokoro axis and all of that barricaded. I don't know what's happening in that axis, so I had to turn back several ways to get here. Having said that, let me quickly say that altogether, I think is a fantastic speech made by Trump. It was very clear. You cannot mix or not getting where it's going.
Exactly.
Right from his speech, it is hitting the ground running.
Yes.
For me, I think it's a fantastic speech, and I think it shows a lot of leadership. I saw a lot of leadership being communicated. That I'm in charge and I'm clear about that.
Yes. It very clear-headed about his mission, about his goals.
It shows clarity, and these are some of the ingredients needed for success. The leadership, the clarity. He set the goals. Day one that is coming in and saying, look, these are the things I want to see. Done, and for me it's pretty clear. So he also shows some plan. He also gave reasons why some of those goals were actually set.
Right.
Because you see, there's another thing for you to set goal, but the other one, if you don't make it purposeful, people will not be able to come to it.
You can't rally the people.
When he was just saying, he said, look at the Panama that you talked about.
Yeah.
He said, look, thousands of Americans were died in putting it together. He said trillions, actually, so much money were spent right there. And then after we've made it happen, we gave it to you, you give it to others. I said no, we're not going to take it. Quite a number of things. He rallied the entire sensibility of people, behind himself. And he also said, look, why should in the 42 42 executive order that issued right away. 42 of them, each of them were addressing very specific
items.
Yes. And one of the items is actually the immigration law. And it was very clear, I'm going to move out millions of millions. I repeated it severally. I'll move out millions of whatever illegal immigrants out of America. Because already, I think it's actually choking their economy and really making things difficult for Americans. So for me, really, I would say that I love the clarity, I love the leadership, I love the purposefulness, and also to see that Trump actually did a load of hard work to put it together. Because you see, for me, aside from the impact, I first of all want to look at what's the lesson really in that stuff.
Plenty lessons. But let's zero in on the illegal, because Nigerians are waiting for it. Yes.
The first thing we should know currently now is that it's going to impact quite a number of persons. It's going to be a whole lot more difficult to enter America. That's number one. Number two, it's actually going to send quite a number of persons back to their back home.
Exactly.
And if you look at it, I love it because it helps us to come and build our nation.
Fix your country, isn't it? That's the message. Bottom line.
Some people with the very least pressure they get out of here.
Yes.
Now we're trying to turn brain drain to brain gain, but let's live with some level of dignity. I don't want to see a medical doctor who feels that it's difficult to whatever, and then you want to go and be a taxi rider outside of our shops.
Imagine.
I don't want to see that. If you want to
get back and feel some sense of pride.
Yeah, some pride. So
some dignity.
It's a fantastic move by him, because I listened from beginning to the end.
Fantastic.
And all he was trying to do is say, look, America first. you know, whatever we're doing, we're going to make this country great again.
Exactly.
We are concerned about how people have treated us with levity, how people have cheated on us,
yes,
how we have invested in places that never gave us good return, how we have actually, like my brother said, how we have been Father Christmas of some sort. But we're not going to do that again. We are going to actually be very strict with our policy. There was something that was said that, look, you know what, how can you say just because you've gone to give birth to a baby in America?
I've never understood that. You know, all my life, I've never it has never, for me.
Before you leave,
exactly.
It's just a few.
For me, I've never understood the sense behind that. I've never understood
even the president of America. So there's a whole lot of, I think, retrospection that they have actually done, that this guy has actually done, and say, no. Some things are not adding up right here. They don't even have the love of the place, and people will just come in and they cause problem and all of that. So immigration, I mean, as far as immigrant is concerned, I think they should be ready for a more challenging time. That's the truth about it. It's going to be extremely more challenging. For now, people will be sent back, you know. So if your papers are not complete, in fact, I think it's time that Nigerians start checking themselves. If you've used the issue of marriage to think that you can tie yourself there, it's not going to work. Because it's not going to work today, because he's looking at, how did you come in here? Do you have all of the documentation and all of the processes to be? And beyond that, even some people just they will have study visa, and then they will stay put, and they will just say they will finalize it, they will perfect it.
That's not
if it is not perfected, if you don't have the reason to be here, you're going to be sent back. But please come over here. We need Nigerians. We need they used to call it Jackpot, but now right now it's Jackpada. Yeah, so Nigerians want you back here. If you've got something,
you know the beauty of this, or the loss that we had suffered without knowing, is that if we had all those eggheads, all those doctors, professors, such very competent people.
Correct.
If we had them within this system, and the system enables them, I think the need now will be for the government to really provide an enabling environment.
Correct.
Because if we have those people, there's nothing stopping Nigeria from taking a flight.
Let me tell you, it's a two-way thing. If Nigerians say, you know what, this is my country and we got to make it work, even the government will sit up.
Exactly.
So it's not going to just be
it's not going to be a one-way thing.
They push me, I leave for where?
If we didn't have such an alternative,
what holiday, I come back here. This is my country. This is where I feel like a first-class citizen. I don't want to go anywhere where I've been tossed around here. No. So for me, there's going to be some pushback. If once you know that, look, you know what, the American and all of that, they've actually raised the bar. It's not going to be an easy entry. You're going to challenge the system and say, look, here must be continued. I listened to the ARD, Association of Resident Doctors, their president for FCT yesterday, and he was also talking about how difficult it is. You know, they've owed them about 6 months arrears, and quite a number of stuff were not done on the hospital, and they were calling week. I think they even declared they are on strike from today or something.
Okay.
I think they started a strike and all that. So the issue for me is that let's treat this country like it's ours. It doesn't belong to the politicians. The politicians are just, given the opportunity to be able to coordinate, to be able to work for us. But it's not that you leave them perpetually without any pushback. If you're saying things are not going on well right here, let us
fight it here.
Let us fight it. Let's fight it
and make progress.
You're something.
I think for me, I'm excited about the speech, honestly. And let's go back to Cosmos. Now, I like the part he said something about the legacy I'd like to leave is to become the peacemaker and unifier. But shortly before that, he said America will become stronger than ever before, something like that, and we will show that strength in the wars we end, and the wars we win, and the wars we prevent. Wow. Well-written speech. Correct. Because the ultimate strength, and especially in those days of the Cold War, one of the things was that these wars were
balance of terror.
Exactly, balance of strength, balance of terror. So because of that, the world enjoys some level of peace. Because if you pushed too much, it was like, oh, you're going to infringe on the American territory or American allied space. Or if you did go this way, it would be the USSR at that time. But all that is lost. And then there's no such figure. You know, you came here one time ago.
When I talk about global statesman.
Yes, when I said, what is the solution?
And that's why I like the appointment of Marco Rubio.
All right.
You know, he's a very respected senator. He's been there. And he's been in the Foreign Service Committee of the Senate. And today we're having a man that of such a reputation that who is going to preside over the office of the Secretary of State. And I think this is it.
All right. I'll come to you. Now, what do you think is the message from America to a world power also like China right now?
Well, you know,
and is that good for the globe?
You know, a time comes you can't leave the world to one superpower, and the critical thing between America and China is a fight over the market space, and a number of the policies of the Democratic Party has been that of tax. And when you tax companies, they run away. They run offshore. I was in San Jose. I could see, if you go there, it's just like one quiet brain box of the world. You see Toyota, massive structure, quiet, silent work is here. You see Google, you see HP, all of them, very silent state, but massive, headquarters of high-tech companies. You know, it's the capital of the Silicon Valley. And what do? They simply design. And then the design is taken to China for production. Why is it? Because labor is cheap. And why is labor cheap? And taxation, is low. And government gives them incentives. But because you are trying to create, you want to be a Father Christmas government. So you are taxing companies.
And taxing your own people. And they are running away. And when these people are running away, China is taking advantage of them. They are producing this thing, all the electronic, all the chips and all the rest of them. They are producing it there, and they are flooding the world with these products. And which are designed in America, innovations that took place in America. So as he said, no, he wants to let us bring these people back, create these products, and grab some of this market from China. That is the policy. And I don't think he's not going to go to war. He's a game man. He's a deal maker.
He's a deal maker. He's going to call Xi Jinping and say, look, let's have some of these, some of the American sphere of interest. China has penetrated into it so much. So it doesn't have problem. Trump does not have problem with Russia. That's what people don't know. And that's what CNN and all the rest of them, they know it, but they are manipulating their command of their captive audience to, hey, this man is a racist, is this. But they know America does not have problem with Russia. Why? Because Russia is not an economic giant. It is not in technological advancement is nowhere. So the only problem they have is China. But the Democratic Party tend to make Russia the issue when the issue should be China, and the subject is the economy, the market, the dominance of China over the global market. And so I'm just going to say, look, let's not beat about the bush. Let us isolate what our fight is. Our fight is with China. And so let us go there, let's tell them, let us face them, and at the end of the day, we talk. So if China right now is having like all the deals that Nigeria is making with China, all the rest of them, they want to give America some of it. If you go to Korea, you go to all these places, a lot of, like India, you can see what's going on in India now. They are pivoting towards India because they know India will give them the bulwark, the destiny, the first to to combat Russia, to combat China, with their 1-point-something billion market.
Wow. All right.
Yes.
All right. Look at, I mean, one of the things I see in the speech are practical steps. He doesn't say anything in some nebulous.
Yes.
For example, he's restoring jobs.
Yes.
By insisting that our auto industry will get back to work.
Yes.
And by that, he's taking some huge market off China straight away, and ensuring that workers back home can get their jobs. And then cars, he said, we're going to produce cars back
including
right
Japan,
again. So, I mean, I think I just love the tautness, it's taut, it's tight, it's well constructed. Now, let's take some of the lessons. Now, he has talked about external revenue generation.
Yes.
We make so much noise, so much hue and cry, so much sweat and all that, and song and dance of internally generated revenue. Now, let's put them side by side. And which one really should we be doing now if we have
externally generated revenue? In fact, he says we're going to set up a committee, a board of externally generated revenue. Suddenly it blew my mind. So that is everything about federal inland revenue.
I'm talking about internally generated revenue.
You're taxing the people. Why not
till their debts?
Remove these taxes from the people.
Exactly.
And let
the tariffs abroad. There's someone who has been canvassing for this position even before now. A Nigerian, a commentator, public commentator, Dayo, has been saying that most countries that you see prosper have the strength, they take advantage of their comparative advantage to make so much money from outside, thereby relieving their own populace of the stress of taxation. And also you'll find out he's talking about energy. Trump talked about energy.
He's going to be very big on energy.
He said, drill, baby, drill.
He's going to drill.
Which is to say, somehow it will force down the cost of fuel. Now that also is going to impact Nigeria. Because if America
is going to supply fuel to the world,
exactly,
actually be the biggest.
The critical thing there is America, in pursuit of their Father Christmas disposition, they go out there and collect international agreements, and they'll be the #1 in the implementation of those international agreements.
Like who?
But China will not do all those decarbonization, all those green. They don't care. They don't care. They're not on the
front line.
They're not on the front line.
Yes.
But America is doing, going to go and grab these international agreements. Don't do this. Stop mining hydrocarbons. Stop mining coal. Meanwhile, some people's lives depend on coal. Some people's lives depend on the mining of some of these things, and then people are suffering, but the whole world is not even into it. And so he said, no, let us stop that. Let's take. That's why, for instance, he has come out of the Paris Agreement, and he has come out of the World Health Organization, because these places have been hijacked. Where we are sitting down and doing big boy. You can imagine Obama swinging when they go. They will use China, France, all of that. Oh, wonderful man, amazing. Something one Obama would say, amazing grace. But your people are suffering because you are giving out way too much.
Part of what you should keep.
What you should keep, you are giving it away, and you are swinging.
No. But you see something. All of this will impact so positively on the average American.
Correct.
Because what he's now doing is that I call it cut the fats. He's looking at anything that does not directly impact on the masses positively in America, then they cut it off. There's no big brother rule anymore.
No,
he wants to, because they've actually, I think again, coming back of Trump, is a more refined person.
Yes.
He's a more intelligent person.
Based on his experience.
Based on the first experience.
Yes.
You know, when you've done something before and you've gone back to learn, because the 4 years of him being out was learning, checking what this guy is doing and seeing the impact, seeing how it's actually having on the economy and all of that. So he's actually a lot wiser guy right now. He understands how to really be able to really sit down between politics and economy, because you can't politicize everything and then there's no economy to back it up. So he's trying to say, look, you know what, guys, enough of all of these wastages. We want to be as shrewd as China is, because China is pretty shrewd.
Exactly.
If they are giving you anything, they are seeing how they are going to, if they give you 1, they are going to take 2. If they give you 4, they are looking at how to take 8. And you can't blame them for it, because they are not saying it's just because they have thought through it. They are not saying you should not. They are only just saying, look, we thought through some of this impact, and we're taking advantage of it. So if you two think about it, then you can
exactly. The message
Yeah.
is, as Trump tries to put America first, every other nation should put
their own country first. But you see, you can't even put your country first if you do not have critical thinking.
Incidentally, they do.
Critical thinking. You see, the message alone, the speech should challenge our leaders in Nigeria. Because sometimes I wonder. It took one of the last president that left, Buhari. It took him 6 months to set up ministers. My brother, is unthinkable. This guy already have the entire cabinet before day one. Day one is hitting the ground running.
The second day they had approved order chief of staff or something.
You understand what I'm saying?
You can imagine
executive order is already
that
on
level of
readiness. So there's a lot of work done even before the day.
Yes.
We will first of all wait after the whatever, you are sleeping, drinking tea, you are dancing up and down. No, man, there's so much work. He's seen the seriousness of work to be done, and he's really taking the bull by the horn. So you cannot. Can you imagine? He has put the work to all the Americans right now. That's what he has done by just telling you, this is what I want to do, this is where I'm going. Each America will be looking for a small space to make it happen.
Fit, exactly.
But if there's no clarity on where you're going, then everybody is just thinking, okay, so what does he want to do about health? What is he doing about immigration? And what is his thought about this? No. He has made his thought very clear. So that every American can actually
buy into it. That's correct. That's correct. You wanted to
on foreign policy.
Yeah.
A parallel is what has happened to America, like Nigeria. Nigeria undergo one. We did the Trans-ECOWAS Express Road.
Come on.
Wow. We literally built the road that moved from Nigeria to the ECOWAS states. This express road you see that goes through Cotonou, goes to Ghana, up to Ghana, it was built by Nigeria. But what is the economic benefit for it? How much did we put into South Africa? South African liberation fighters were coming to Nigeria. We were keeping them. We were paying them. We were feeding them. At the end of the day, what gain
did we make
out of South Africa? Look at it. Was because of Angola that they killed Murtala Mohammed.
Yeah.
Because of Angola, there was this MPLA. There was FNLA. America was for the capitalist, is it MPLA? And Russia was, Soviet Union was for FNLA. And they looked more patriotic. And they called Murtala Mohammed, said, look, we're interested in either MPLA or whatever. I think it's Agostino Neto or whatever.
Well, the name's
so there was Savimbi and there was Agostino Neto. Yeah. They said, look at this is the person we want. Murtala Mohammed literally told him to go to hell. Told the American president to go to hell. That Nigeria is come of age and cannot be dictated to by America. It wasn't 2 months after he was eliminated. These are one of the critical things we're talking about. And what gain have we made out of Angola?
But much worse is that we still haven't learnt our lesson. As we speak, there's Niger railway project, which also is being borne by this country. I mean, I don't know whether Niger has some contribution, but it's definitely insignificant.
You see, when I see people, Nigerians being so emotionally anti-Trump, because of useless thing. He slept with this. Who doesn't? All of us. If who has no sin,
Let him cast the first stone.
cast the first stone.
Yeah.
We are men. These are normal, useful locker room issues. They are using locker room issues to judge Trump. You know, Trump has his nature.
He's a human.
He has his own nature.
Yeah.
He, when he was young, he was, but the way his body reflexes are, you may not like him or hate him, but the principles is what you look at.
Yeah.
What is he driving at? Like, we to come back to Nigeria. Nigeria has played this big brother role for too much, and it is time we start to learn from Trump.
Exactly.
Sincerely, I love the Niger rail that you've just mentioned. It's sometimes it's not even playing big brother role. You don't have road in your country. Big brother means that I already have something I'm giving to another.
I want to give out of my excess.
Yes, out of my excess. That's what I call big brother. You are not even a big brother because you don't have the road. Go to some of the south states. You have to be on canoe. There is no way. I went to my mom-in-law's whatever some years back. We couldn't drive down. We parked at somewhere and then we took a boat that took. I said, what? This is the way you guys say. That's the way it is. So it's not a big. I think it's not a big brother role. It's actually more of a dumb role.
That's why he described it. He described the American as mumu.
Because if it is actually big brother, you say, well, out of our excesses, we did XYZ. All right, but right now, since it's not paying us, we are not doing it. But you don't have the road.
Don't even have it.
You don't have rail. The rail you are taking to whatever, we don't have.
You don't even have it.
We don't have. Look at, they are fighting, they are condemning the, what's it called, the coastal road. The coastal road that the judge, Omar is trying to construct. But, the one that will connect 9 states, in the south, you are condemning it, but the one that goes to Nigeria, nobody's talking about that. Sometimes I just think that, look, we really need to put Nigeria first. In any policies, in any whatever, put Nigeria first. Nigeria and Nigerians. Because there are too many trade-offs. I love even what he said about certain, policies that he felt like, look, this was cheap giveaways. Like I will talk about what's this place?
Is it the Panama thing?
No. I'm talking about in Nigeria now.
The
south. The place that we see there to Cameroon.
Okay, yes. Cameroon.
Bakassi. Yeah. That somebody just wake up and because you are just there, you just see them in the way. That's what this guy.
But it took some. It wasn't such a giveaway like that.
He mentioned it.
It was a trade-off. It wasn't a balanced trade-off.
All right.
That is going to look. You see, the issue for me is that, guys, let's build Nigeria together. Let's show some level of commitment to this project, Nigeria.
Exactly.
Whether from the president to the last person, let's commit to the.
Imagine us going to install. There was a coup. Is it in Chad or Niger?
We had to go.
And we send our soldiers to go and install the for who? For France.
For France. Yes. Yes.
No, there's a whole lot that I think that Nigeria needs to learn. There's a whole lot. There's a whole lot.
And that's why I said, look, we're not going to. You see, Trump said our children are all over the world.
Yeah.
Dying for the world.
Yeah.
And we're not getting anything out of it.
Yeah.
So what's the issue?
I believe that quite a lot to learn. I want to see my leaders in this country. I want to see us really take governance very seriously. I mean, you can't gloss over it. It's a serious work. It requires a lot of thoughtfulness, a lot of hard thinking. I'm telling you, when I tell people are lazy in thinking, it's not running around with biceps that shows whether
you're working.
No. It's the level of thought.
Rigor.
Look, the mental rigor.
Yes.
So I think our leaders really need to painstakingly look at things, and I also must commend to our own level, the current administration to some level, because again, it came in. Yes, some policies were really. The rough edges were too much.
Yeah.
When you say, what's it called, gone? Subsidy gone, fantastic. But the all of the things to be able to actually ameliorate it should have actually been put in place. The issue of CNG buses should have been running. The issue of actually having rail, should be a lot of stuff that would have reduced the pressure on the average Nigerian. Because look at the spike you know, in
cost,
in cost, you know, on Nigerians. So, and again, I saw a number of things that were done better than the reason why I gave it to him is because I'm comparing with the previous administration.
Yes.
He also came and, you know, just within 1 year, we can see what the minister right there did about road. We saw how he's actually been able to, how our president also have been able to, you know, make sure that the local government autonomy, you know, the disparity in Naira and all of that. Yes. And so we are seeing a couple of things really being done, you know. But for me, if you consider the speed of Trump and that of my president, Mr. President, you gotta wake up and really, it's like snail speed when this person is going like Usain Bolt, you know, because again, if we must, it's called was a peer review. You must do some peer review on some of the
except that we're not peers. except that we're not peers.
They are both, they are both presidents.
No, Nigeria and America are not peers. No, by whatever standards. Now, so, but okay, maybe country to country.
And again, now let me also say the fact that whether it took American 250, 300 years to,
it doesn't mean
democracy,
we also have to spend 200.
200. You need to look at some of the countries that are just 60 something years democracy like you.
No, I mean, don't go too far. If you have a South Africa with less than 60 million people and who do 40,000 megawatts of power, that's something to
we are grappling with 3,000 to 5,000 megawatts
for 230 million people.
3 to 5. They will always have a whatever breakdown. The power grid is down. And these are
some of the things we need to copy.
So I think we need a lot more seriousness. I see too much of. I tell people, once the elections are over, can we stop?
It's governance.
Governance. Go straight to governance. Leave the politicking. We are done with politics. Yes. Amen. These are the people in the saddle. Can you start? Can you hit the ground?
You know, for me, what you have just said, it was Pastor Tunde Bakari many years ago who said in one of, I used to be a member of his in Lagos. He said, I think at that time he attended Deeper Life Church or something. I think Deeper Life or Redeemed. And they got ordained as pastors. And guess what? His other colleagues who had just been ordained as pastors went about frolicking, throwing parties and all that. And so they came to him and said, oh, so when are you throwing your own party? And he said, party for what? Do you really understand what it means to be a pastor? That if you truly understand the responsibility that has just been put on my head, you probably cry for me.
Correct.
And I think that that's the problem with our political office holders.
Correct.
Many times they think only of the perks and perquisites of office. They do not think of the huge responsibility that's attached to it. They actually even prioritize the perks and downplay the responsibilities. Until we have a shift in our mentality to know that it is first of all a place of responsibility. And because of these responsibilities, these perks and perquisites have been added to make life easy for you. It's not this way. It's not the other way around. Exactly. It's not the tail wagging the dog. It's the dog wagging the tail. We must have that proper clarity.
If you see my governor, fantastic guy, you know, Adeleke, dancing everywhere and all that. Sometimes, you know, sometimes
we're in an era of dancing governors.
You understand what I'm saying?
And it's going around.
It's going around right now. Everybody's now dancing.
Every governor.
No, but for me, I
maybe
think,
to relieve stress, though.
Which stress? You see, when people say to you, I first of all say, when did you do the work that you are doing the stress relief? Because you only relieve from stress when you have done so much work.
Let's leave it there.
Every day
I'll come back after break.
Come on, man.
After this break.
Okay.
This guy's on fire. After this break. Welcome back, dear viewers. I hope that you're having a great time watching this program. There's so much hope, inspiration coming from Trump's desk, as it were. And I think that this should inspire the entire world to a rethink of a change of mentalities, a shift in mentalities, and a rethink of what used to be the order and maybe the need to have a new world order. I mean, look at, for example, just by one pronouncement, today there's nothing, wherever LGBTQs are, they will be in hiding.
Correct.
In America right now. they'll be in hiding just by one pronouncement. And I begin to think, how did we even find ourselves in that kind of anomaly? And not only that it was an anomaly, it was becoming, it took its center stage with boastful pride. With now, boastful pride.
You know, the fact is, a lot of things, CNN and all the woke media, they spin something out of what it is. You can imagine now that, for instance, Elon Musk, he was talking and tried to point. They said he is giving a Nazi salute. Very wicked act. So you can no longer gesticulate. If the camera catches me like this now,
then you have
they'll say, "Oh, Cosmas is
talking to the gods.
Is Nazi? Is talking to the gods." And people will run with it. Nobody has said, "Gay, you shouldn't be gay." Nobody has said, if you this the gender you want to be, you should be. It's not. It should not be a government policy. Correct. You cannot
That's your private.
You cannot be an American soldier. Then you come and collect Nigeria. The American government will now shoulder the budget of your gender transition.
No way.
It's your business. If you want to sleep with all the men in the world, go ahead. But you should not rely on America to give you the money for the abortion.
To fund it.
This is what it's all about. I mean, nobody say, men, but it's your personal life. But people keep, taking the narrative from what it is not. I mean, how could you tell me I must do cake for you? If I'm doing cake, and maybe you want to come and wear it, I'm a Christian. And you say, oh, no. I should not, I must do cake for you. If I say, I can't, I don't want to, I'm not doing cake for you because it's contrary, it's against my Christian.
Yeah, because you choose to be homo, I mean, it's a gay relationship.
Then you take me to court, and the court will find me guilty. It's my personal business. I'm saying I cannot do cake for you. So what?
It was that bad. It was that bad.
What was the issue? Like me, I'm a master of ceremony now.
Yes.
And then maybe they now know that I do master of ceremony maybe for federal government activities or maybe for FCT administration. And so somebody will now, he want to put me out of business. He knows I'm a Christian. He will come to me and say, Mr. Cosmas, we are doing a wedding on Saturday. Please, we want you to be our master of ceremony. I say, who is your husband?
Exactly.
You tell me it is James and Joseph. I said, no, I can't do that. You take me to court. And then the government, the woke government, will say, because you have refused, you are discriminating, FCT will no longer give you job as a master of ceremony.
No,
federal government will no longer give you job as a master. This was what was going on.
I think the government under those administrations really went over.
What we should learn from there is the boldness of Trump.
Yes.
Because let me tell you, each of those things that he's doing has both the positive and the negative impact. So he is saying, you know what, I know that there will be a backlash on this, but I'm willing to bear the cut.
Yes, I'm willing to
I just want to go in this direction.
Yes.
I know that the other side of it, I will take that negative narrative, but you know what, this is where we're going. I think that's leadership. That's leadership.
Yeah,
so that's what I'm saying. Look, it is not, none of those pronouncements will go without any backlash. There will be some costs. Some cost effect.
Yeah, you can imagine a judge.
Yeah.
When there was the hearing of maybe the time she was to go, when she came to the Senate at her appointment, the black woman who is a member of the Supreme Court of the United States, she was asked, define a woman. She said no, that she will not define a woman. She does not know what a woman is. She refused to define. Imagine a Supreme Court judge saying she could not define a woman. Imagine you will use male testosterone to grow your muscles. You are in sports. When you discover you cannot beat Ben Johnson, you say you have
you are now presenting,
you now enter women's sports.
Yes.
And the woman that knows that this cup belongs to me, the two of them or three of them, imagine three men enter and collect the cups And the people who are now the trophies, and the people who are now going to be given the trophies are not women, but men
who transitioned
to be women who have finished, who have grown. And,
isn't that the kind of fiasco, the kind of fiasco that was caused by a man who presents as a woman right in Nigeria, and a prize that was meant for women was given to you know,
and restrooms.
Okay, so how do you manage restrooms?
Even in the prison, where do you put this?
A bearded man, a man with the chest, the hair chest, will now tie wrapper, and when he goes to the airport, he'll be entering where women are entering.
I think it's a lot of confusion.
No, it was too much. It was too much
so
confusion.
Many little children were being raped inside the women lavatories.
Yeah,
people, little girls, because a man will come in and say,
as a woman,
and enter there and rape the people, and rape a little girl, and they said no. But this was from today. It's an official policy
of the United States.
We recognize male and female.
Yeah.
And then bam. You know,
why would somebody be against this? And we go out, many Nigerians, and we every Sunday we flood the churches.
To the churches.
Correct. Some states are already gone to court. You understand? There are some of you are already challenging quite a number of the.
No. What they're challenging mainly is the birthright citizenship.
Yeah, I know. I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about some of these 42 executive orders. But the point there really is that he knew that some will come after him.
Definitely.
But he's saying that I am ready for you.
Yes.
This is what I believe. In the 4 years that I want to spend, each day is important from day one to the last day. Unlike us, we wait 6 months to try to put cabinet together, then we will govern. While we are governing, there's a lot of politicking. They are drawing you from here and there. You are still going dancing around, and then by the time it is 2 years into the administration, you started politicking for another time.
Another tenure.
The wastages in Nigeria should we should look. Our leaders should look at
a Japanese company has invested 500 billion in artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
And that's going to be that's going to be a multiplier and an accelerator effect.
Correct.
On that investment.
Yeah.
Many more people are coming in.
Yeah.
That is it. A perfect example of woke liberal policies and conservative policy is between the relation between California and Texas. Mm-hmm. What's his name? Elon Musk left California, is it to Florida?
Yeah.
Dale is in Texas. There is a massive disinvestment going on in California. You know, and people are leaving those countries. Why? In fact, this man is leaving. Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
He says leaving. Why? That the policies of the woke government is anti-business.
Yeah.
This is it.
Yeah.
So this is why, all these people...
Look, for you to see how the entire world is following after Trump.
Yeah.
I read something yesterday where it's been said that Facebook is removing anything that has to do with transgender, whatever, those kind of content are being cleaned up.
Yes.
I want to say something.
Very powerful.
I think so, there's actually one Asian country like that. They returned all of the world kept people down just a day before his inauguration. They've actually sent back some of the
hostages.
The hostages.
Yes, he talked about it. I mean, that's huge.
He's saying, look, I'm yet to get inside. They started taking.
Look at the things.
You take dressing. Because you know that this guy is not going to accept all of those stuff. You kept my people down for what? So he said even before coming in,
he said it.
The hostages are already been released. We need to be a lot more serious.
Exactly.
I think governance is more serious than some of us see it. We play around, and it's the life of the people. Just because you have so much resources to survive, you're not thinking about the weakest man, the grassroots. I mean, the masses. So because if you're looking at it, you'll be concerned about every road. It will not be just like I challenge Wiki. Fantastic what we've done in the city center. Make sure all of the roads in Abuja, in FCT, the entire Abuja FCT, in the local government, make sure they
satellite
are
towns.
the satellite towns and everything. Make sure that they have, and I love what he's doing. Where I hear him go to Gwagwalada, I hear him being
he's actually taking development
fantastic.
to everywhere.
But that exactly, the governance must be taken as seriously as that. Even when you need to drop, I want to see 10x wiki. What I mean by that is that whatever Wike is doing, multiply it by times 10 and move at a jet speed that people are thinking, are you part of Nigeria? How are you able to do all of this? Because it's one of the fastest moving minister currently. Clearly. You understand what I'm saying? I want to see him move very well. I want to see Dave Umahi, the minister for works. Sometime ago I was with him, I for certain stuff. But I want to see it, and I commend what he's been able to do so far. But he must find a way to double his speed. Because I know that there's a lot of politicking that's tying him down.
He's got a lot of politicking.
Yes.
And there are these giant construction companies, I don't want to mention any particular name,
who are
that
pulling
are
him down.
trying to hold him down. And he's also taking them on.
Yes.
He's one fearless person.
I know.
He's trying to cut their...
You know what he needs to do? He also must take them one after the other. You cannot have all of them, because there was one particular time I listened to him. He took them on. I said, all these people, if they gang up, they gang up.
No, but you see, we need to have such people. Because for a long time, some of these people, he said at one conference that I attended, he said they now begin to want to dictate to Nigeria. And these are people who have enjoyed the good times for so long. So if Nigeria is in a difficult patch, you must also reason with the country.
Yeah, it's the concept of state capture.
Yeah,
that's it.
State capture.
The concept of state capture.
Yeah.
Organizations come, construction firms, a lot of this is also part of the thing that Trump is fighting.
That's the kind of thing Trump is fighting.
That's why he has brought in Robert Kennedy, big pharmaceutical companies.
Yeah.
Because I'm not talking about, the issue, big pharmaceutical companies, they will bring in untested vaccinations.
And be testing on people.
And be using human beings as guinea pigs. This man was saying, look, there is a relationship between the proliferation of autism and the onset of a certain immunization in America.
Whoa.
That between this period and this period, American children were not autistic.
Really? We never used to know anything called autism.
But immediately this thing came in, and it's there. And these things are happening. And that was one of the reasons why we've not talked about the preemptive pardoning of even Fauci. So when did COVID end? I keep asking people, how did COVID end? You locked down the entire world, huge money, every person, nobody moved, children were running mad, children were locked up, they were having mental issues, and suddenly you say that the world shouldn't move out, there is COVID. All of a sudden, by the time Putin invaded Ukraine, the media stopped talking about COVID. And they faced
and they died.
And people and human beings are now suddenly the way we entered COVID regime was not the way we sneaked out through the back door. So something must be wrong.
Yeah.
And that is why you do not grant pardon to somebody who has not committed a crime. Number one. Number two, why would Fauci, it's telling America, it's telling us that you are talking about institutions. If he is right, let him be investigated. You'll be boasting that you have strong institutions.
Exactly.
And then you are giving people preemptive pardon.
They've not even been taken through the trial.
Trump said about that.
They have not been interrogated.
Exactly.
They have not been tried. They have not been jailed.
Then you give them a preemptive,
and you give pardon.
What does that even mean?
So, people are singing the praise of the Democratic Party and Biden. So what does that? Number one, it means that you don't trust your institutions to do the right thing.
It also means that you also, one way or the other,
you are guilty.
Exactly.
And then Obama flew out of Washington, D.C., and landed in Ghana, and in the speech to the Ghanaian parliament, it was the necessity for institution building. And then, when it was your time to trust the institution you say you have built, you didn't trust it. So these are the issues. You know.
Dear viewers, the line is open, been open actually for some time, and would like to have you call in. It's 0802-993-8365. It's on the screen right now. Please do make the effort and let's have your own take on what's going on in America right now. In actual fact, what's going on around the world, because what he has said probably touches your member. I mean, a member of your family. If that member of your family doesn't have his papers and it's been hiding around in America, you can be sure that very shortly he'll be getting back.
So I want to take us back to the issue of immigration while we're waiting for a call. Look, this immigration is excellent.
I tell you.
I have mates. I have somebody. I had a mate. He was mad in the streets of America. Was a lunatic. You understand? He couldn't come back. And you go to places, you see Africans.
They are here. Can you hold?
Good.
Please don't lose your train. The train of your thought. Hello. Good afternoon. All right, go on. We lost him.
And so you come in. Now is to give people who will not have had the shame to come back. You give them the leeway to please Jakbada.
Jakbada.
You know, if you're on your way, if people have a proverb, if going no go, then returning must be. You see, these people. Number two, what's going on is that the people who has given them this.
Sorry.
Yes.
Hello. Good afternoon. Hello, this is KAFTANTV. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, your name and where you're calling from. Oops, I really think that there's a problem. That's about the third person. And
So you know, these people need to. You get number one. You give them the issue is that the fraud that goes on these illegal immigrants. They are telling the story of a certain man. This man. A certain wicked person employed him. He's supposed to be earning something like he's supposed to be earning about maybe $10,000 a year.
All right.
Every time he's underpaid. He's been underpaid for nearly 5 good years. They're giving him 1,000 naira. The rest they can't pay him.
My goodness. Hello. Good afternoon. Yeah, please, can you cut down the volume of your TV set and walk away from it? Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon.
My name is Funsho Raphael. I'm calling from Ojo in Lagos.
All right, Funsho, please, let's have your take, quickly.
Yeah, I just want to commend you for the program, and I really appreciate the way you are analyzing things based on what happened in America.
Thank you.
So, as you can see, our leaders here, they cannot emulate what is happening in America. We have problem of leader here. So please, I just want to be brief. The way you are analyzing the whole thing now, please just continue to do it so that our leaders, they will hear what you people are saying. But the problem is that they will hear, but they will not do the right thing.
Well, we will keep saying one day somebody will do the right thing. Really, thank you, Funsho. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the subject of how these people are taken advantage of.
Yeah.
They are not being paid even the minimum wage.
Yeah.
Yet they will stick it out there.
They will stick it out. They say this man is being owed about $20,000.
Wow.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, my people.
You're welcome, my brother.
Yes, I thank God for what you people are discussing. I have people being fed that thought. You see, the issue is,
Do us the favor of giving us your identity and location.
that you should, okay, this is a concerned citizen from Bison State.
All right. No, even if I know it, they don't know. So it's important that you do it all the time.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I appreciate all their contributions.
All right.
People are doing well there.
All right. Thank you.
People are doing fair. That's where it's supposed to be. Yes. You see, in life, if you disconnect from the source, you find life difficult. The source is God.
All right.
And
Okay.
anybody who wants to do the right thing will definitely face opposition. It's just like when there's a master plan for a place, and some leaders, they ruled and didn't go according to the master plan. Whoever comes to put things right will face opposition. You know, weekend now. You know why many people are against weekend? That they are not, appreciating what is doing work. Weekend is doing work. But because of his role in 2023 presidential election, many people are aggrieved. So the pain we are going through, that's the reason why many people are not saying, weekend can work. Oh. Yes, weekend can work. If he stands up, he does what he wants to do. But that rule, which everybody has been, people are not happy.
All right.
Donald Trump wants to do the right thing. It's God that made a man and a woman, and he didn't give a law that a woman should not dress like man should not dress like a woman. And they have never been on earth, except by artificial insemination, that a man will be pregnant. No matter how they argue it up and down, a woman is a woman, a man is a man. I asked one person one day who is arguing, say, if you go to a fellowship meeting, religious meeting one day, and you see your pastor coming in with skirt, with blouse, dressing like a woman, how will you feel? He said, I will feel bad. I said, why will you feel bad when you are saying there's nothing wrong with a man and a woman dressing the same way? I said, have you not seen it now? That we know the truth, we are fooling ourselves. Now, Trump want to follow God's principle. A man is a man, a woman is a woman.
Period.
Then if you want to break God's law, that should be on your own there.
Exactly.
The government should not approve it for you.
Exactly.
And should not be involved in promoting it.
Whatever, before man and before God.
Yes.
Government should not use government money to take care of your foolishness and stupidity. Or living against God and against humanity.
Thank you, concerned citizen.
Are you understanding me? Yes. So when a woman delivers, the first thing asks which sex is he male or female?
Exactly.
You don't know what you're going to do.
You don't ask, is it transgender? All right, concerned citizen. We must leave you. We must leave you now. We must let you go so that other Nigerians can also call. Thank you so much. God bless you.
So really it pains me that they take advantage in Israel. When we went for Israeli something, what we call the pilgrimage.
Yeah.
Some people sent scouts to come to convince some Nigerians to escape.
Wow.
But when they tell you the kind of thing that people who don't have papers go through, look, you can walk. Somebody will take you, walk. After walking, he will not pay you. And you cannot
There's nothing you can do.
Yeah,
Exactly.
You can't go anywhere.
So illegal immigration is evil, even to the person.
It's detrimental even to the exactly.
It's slavery.
Some of them.
It's slavery.
It's slavery.
So I know somebody. He is been in a particular city. You are in a prison house. This thing that is called sanctuary cities. Yes, it is easy. You can run to the sanctuary cities where the local officials will swear not to help government to prosecute citizens. So,
right.
In America, if you want to go for health, you must show either, if you're an immigrant, you show your valid passport and visa.
Right.
If you are entering any vehicle, maybe if you are entering a vehicle from Baltimore to New York, the bus cannot carry you until you show a valid ID or your passport becomes your passport and visa is your ID.
Yeah.
So, but once it has expired, you are not leaving that city. You can only walk within that sanctuary city. You are locked up. You will see somebody who is in California, he cannot visit Nevada.
But you see, all this, this is very crucial.
Yes.
Because a lot of times, the picture that is painted of those moving from how do you say it now, to greener pastures.
Yeah.
Many times that's not the reality.
Yes.
That's not the reality, and I think that we must really come to terms with our reality.
Yes.
That we have a nation to build.
Yeah, but the exodus of Nigerians, to
all those
perceive
places. Yeah.
greener city, greener pasture. I think it's a two-way thing. The government has got a role to play to be able to curb
Definitely,
it.
there's no doubt about it.
Why we also tell our citizens to at least give Nigeria a chance.
Yeah.
You know, because again, some are not very resilient. They just feel like, look, any little pressure, they just go. But right now, Trump is telling everybody, you know what, go build your own.
That's it.
Country. Don't come and mess up ours. It took
several
sweat
years.
and blood.
Yeah, to
you know,
get
of a
us
whole
to
lot
where
of
we
people
are.
to get to where we are, and we want only the finest all over the world who are legitimately coming in, who we screen to be worthy of being here. To be there's ditto for us. We're supposed to actually have the same measure to say whoever is actually coming in from all of our neighboring countries must add value here.
Exactly.
They will tell me that the Boko Haram, they just pass through our border, come over, kill people within the country and run back. It shouldn't be. Look, it's deploying troops to southern
border of America.
Right there to just be able to protect the country.
To repel whoever wants to come.
So the ditto for us. You cannot I think there's a whole lot of lessons right here, both for citizens and for our leaders, to say that, you know what, I'm interested in protecting Nigerians. I love what this guy is doing. Caleb, the governor of Plateau State,
right.
You know, looking at how his people are being massacred, being killed anyhow, and he's putting in quite a load of intelligence and all that to be able to protect them. He's not there yet, but you see that even the attack has gone down drastically.
That's true.
That is the way it needs to be. The first responsibility of any leader, you know, is to protect life and property and to prioritize welfare. So if this is taken out of what you're doing, then you really don't have a job.
You don't have
anything. A job. It's not just to grow the economy. Yeah, you grow the economy, but people are dying. People don't have. I mean, the economy is screwed into one side, where only those who are around the corridors of powers are benefiting, and millions of Nigerians are languishing in poverty. It shouldn't be. I love what China did, taking 100 million of its citizens out of poverty. Ditto, we can do it in Nigeria. It's just for us to be serious. The last tax reform, the current tax reform that is going on, I believe that because there's a lot of widespread now in terms of reach and benefit. More people, about 3 or 4 states are actually going to have reduced inflow because of the tax. That's Lagos, Port Harcourt, River State, and a few other places are going to go.
But then it's going to be a lot more fair.
32 or 30 something states are actually going to have benefit and all that.
Yeah.
And for me, that's fair enough. But it shouldn't stop there. The governor, people should be on top of the governor, looking at the revenue, looking at what is coming in, be on top of the local government. Never again should we have waste of our resources. People feeling like the purse of the state is for them to do whichever way they want. No, it shouldn't be. You understand? So the speech is something that we need to keep looking at and keep seeing how we can really, because there's a lot of positive to it. Too much. Even when people are just looking at, they will send back immigrants. Yes, that might look like a negative. Yeah. But also, if we see it from another shade, it is a positive that there is a lot of skilled labor.
We'll come back. Exactly.
And those skilled labor can grow our economy.
Exactly.
So I will even tell our government, open up your arms. Bring up policies that can really integrate all of these guys as they are coming in. Lot of doctors that have been trained, a lot of people, China did. Bring them in. Don't even look at it as if they are doing anything wrong, because people are already saying, okay, Mr. President Tinubu, how are you going to react to Trump's whatever? Look, any Nigerians that are coming in, we're going to give them incentive. Let them come do this country.
Incentivize them.
Yes,
I want to say that there is work in the country.
Correct.
Exactly. There is so much, I'm telling you, there is so much to be done in the country.
Yeah.
You know, let me use a perfect example.
Several persons are trying to call.
Okay,
no.
Okay.
That is, it's not connecting. It's not connecting.
For the first time, when I discovered that during the Christmas, to travel to Imo State for Christmas, it was going to cost me 670,000 naira.
Correct.
Don't forget to add only.
flying airplanes and other aircrafts.
Yeah.
So when I said, but I must go home, and as a chief, I can't stay in the town. I can't stay in the city and do Christmas.
Yeah.
I said, okay. Somebody told me, why not go through Uyo? I said, really? I tried the yoke, bang, bang, bang. 315,000 by, what do you call it? Ibom Air. Going and airpiece returning.
Yeah.
Both was like 315,000.
Wow. Almost 50%.
Almost 50%.
Correct.
And my village is near Omahia.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I entered, I stopped. 1 hour, 30 minutes, I was in Omahia.
Wow.
And when the infrastructure I saw in Uyo, it was mind-blowing.
Wow.
What continued from Victor Atta, in fact, Victor Atta had added more. That he even did a power station.
But they didn't allow it,
and
for him or something like that.
That place, their airport, the international wing is being built. What I saw in Uyo, all the 5 states in the southeast could not achieve it.
Yeah.
First, they have an airline.
Yeah.
The whole 5 states in the southeast, none of them has an airline.
Yeah.
2, they are upgrading their airport.
Yeah.
They have built one, they are upgrading it to an international wing. They have finished that international wing. All the 5 states in the southeast do not have an airport of that size and dimension.
Okay, I mean, you have qualified it.
Yeah.
Of that size and
dimension. I saw 4 Point by Sheraton in Rikotek Bene. None of the 5 states in the southeast, the only hotel that was owned by one of the 5 states is Concord Hotel Owerri, and that was done by
Mbakwe, right?
But since this 4th Republic, no state in the southeast has a hotel of the prestige and rank of that 4 Point by Sheraton, about 20 to 25 story. And they have a condominium that for international business and companies, if you want to hear. Go on. None of the 5 states in the southeast has, so it's like almost an equivalent of the World Trade Center in Abuja.
Yeah.
None of the 5 states in the southeast has it. Look at the infrastructure, the roads. When I came out, I boarded the Sienna, yes. I boarded the Sienna. The road is plied. By the time I reached Apuera, as a driver, where does Abia stop? Where does Ilo stop? And Abia began. The driver gave me a shocking answer.
He said, "Don't worry.
The good roads."
We're going to also end the program now.
Where the good
And my name is Good roads. So where was the
Well, viewers, we're going to have to go now. I do hope that some lessons have been taken from this discussion, and the discussion should go beyond even the TV screens into every household, into every bar room discussion, and every place. It's that important that we need to put our country first.
Yeah.
Bottom line, put Nigeria first.
Yeah.
Make Nigeria great again.
Yeah.
And I hope that the leaders are watching and that they will do the needful.
Yeah.
I must say thank you to these wonderful gentlemen. Every time I have to have Cosmos Uzodinma in the house, I'm very excited.
Correct.
Even if he doesn't, And it's good to also have you, MKO.
Yeah, sure.
You know, MKO.
Yeah.
Moses Kolawole Obisesan.
Money
But the one we want is Moshood Kolawole. All right, so at this point, my name is still Dayo Omoogun, and I'm very grateful to you for tuning in and staying tuned to KAFTAN Television. Please do it again tomorrow. Tomorrow's another day. Macaulay will be here. And I also need to say a big thank you to my production crew. Wonderful guys, wonderful young people growing their career. I believe that you'll be at the top very shortly. Well done. And so it's bye-bye from all of us.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.